As conflict continues in Libya, President Obama says that U.S. forces will not let up until Muammar Gaddafi steps down from power. From the White House, I'm Kelsey Duggan.
2 minutes, I'm literally all hooked up and you can't even tell. So it's not scary at all. With 3,000 trips taken daily, Capital Bike Share is the largest bike sharing network in the country. And with gas prices expected to hit $5 this summer, as you can see with clearly most of the bikes being checked out, people are choosing this cheap and easy way to get around the city. And when you're in the sailing capital of the world, there's only one way to start your day.
Although the zoo promises to find good homes for the animals here at the petting zoo, cows like Rose and Tulip, who have been here since birth, will have to part ways.
And now Sadie's nice and clean, squeaky clean, and now, oh, thank you. And now we're going to actually clip her paws, so I think she's ready.
From tacky to tasty, the royal wedding is expected to bring in $10 billion around the world. And here in the district, Georgetown Cupcake is also banking on the wedding, selling a dozen royal wedding-themed cupcakes for $30. Just make sure to consult your doctor before doing any physical activity. Then, you're ready to go. Okay.
Good, go, let's go, you can do it. Oh, yeah!
There you go. All right, let's do it again. That was amazing. That was amazing.
Anywhere.
Oh, 1 point.
Now, what should I be doing with my arms right now? Because I feel like I'm kind of looking like a T-Rex here.
Don't try this at home, folks. I probably shouldn't be trying it either.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Mass Appeal on this Thursday morning. You'd be proud of me. This is actually one of the only things that I can cook, so I'm really excited you're making this today.
Yep. Well, I don't mean to burst your bubble, but we're actually teaching a bunch of kids to do this on Saturday. Yep.
Well, good. I'm glad to know where I stand on the cooking meter here. We have 2% of Americans thinking that Mitt's first real name is Mittens. Another 2% saying it's Gromit. Yeah. What's going on?
Well, the reality, his real first name is Willard. So maybe out there running for president, it's not bad if folks think your first real name is Mitten.
Yeah.
By comparison to Willard, you know?
And you certainly have a very, very fun cast. How's everyone getting along on the set?
Great.
Yeah, suspiciously well.
Yes. By this point, we should hate each other.
I think I'm going to put my little Giants hat on now.
Oh, careful, careful. That's not the Giants. That's,
oh my God. Oh my God, I'm cursed. I'm cursed. That's for you. That's for
hey,
you.
it looks good for us. I know, we're going to win now. I heard that you guys are good dancers. So I'm thinking, crazy thought, 5-second dance party and go. Dance party, dance party. Oh.
Taste away. I'm
all right, I have a confession. I'm allergic to avocado.
Oh, get out.
I will have the chip. I'll have the chip. For more than a century, oysters have made up one of the Chesapeake Bay's most valuable commercial fishing industries. But overharvesting and disease has caused a severe decline in oysters. Now only 1% of the original population exists in the bay. Today, hundreds of residents gathered at the Annapolis Maritime Museum for the first annual oyster roast. People got to sample the local shellfish and learn about what issues are affecting the bay.
We want to make our audience more aware of the plight of the oyster in the Chesapeake Bay. So one way to do that is get people excited about oysters, and one way to do that is get people to eat them.
Oyster Recovery Partnership Director Penny Jurek also attended the roast to let people know what her organization is doing to help maintain the oyster population.
We plant the majority of our oysters on sanctuaries so they can be left in the bay to grow. Every year we reseed the oysters on the different bars, and we monitor them all throughout the year to make sure that they're growing and that there's no disease.
But commercial waterman John Van Alstyne believes that sanctuaries aren't the answer to the bay's problem.
This river that you're standing on has been a sanctuary for 65 years. 3 years ago, we worked for the state. We had 27 boats that dredged 10 days. We caught 90 oysters. Not 90 bushel, 90 oysters. So sanctuaries, in my opinion, are not the ticket.
Instead, he believes that poor water quality is actually responsible for the decrease in oysters.
We're treating it to kill the bacteria, but we're still putting nutrients in the water, and the nutrients are what are creating dead zones, which are taking the oxygen from the water.
Water pollution is the #1 reason for the drop in the oysters here in this bay. And although the water looks clean today, just 2 miles up the river, a sewage plant backwashes into the bay. And with actions like this, the oyster population will continue to deplenish. From Annapolis, I'm Kelsey Duggan.
Some say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And if you've got a big sweet tooth, there's no better way to start the day than with a donut. I wanted to learn how to make that classic honey dip donut. So I went to Donut Dip, where they have been making donuts since 1957. But soon I learned that in order to try my hand at making these fluffy, light, sweet pastries, I would need to come back to the shop a little bit later. So I headed back around 9 o'clock and met with Donut Dip's president and manager, Paul Shields, whose grandfather actually started the donut shop. He brought me into the kitchen where I'd get started. He and baker Ed Newport soon showed me the ropes.
And each one of these pieces will make approximately 4 dozen donuts. And the scrap that's left over we'll rework into more loaves, and we'll make more donuts with that afterwards.
Everything is detailed and done by hand. Boy, were my muscles going to be sore the next day. The dough is then rolled out, and the individual donuts are each cut out and put away while they rise. Now it was my turn to have a go at it.
Now toss a little flour on the top.
Okay. Is that good?
Yeah, that's pretty good. For a beginner.
For a beginner, it's good.
I had to see if I had what it took to roll out the dough.
Now you want to try to keep it the same thickness throughout. Now you see over here it's getting kind of thin.
Yeah.
So you want to concentrate on the other areas. That's it. Yeah, you have to kind of muscle it a little bit.
I know, I gotta work on my muscles here.
Next up, I cut up the donuts. Well, sort of.
Just go like that. You gotta get right down to the bottom.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Catch it in your hand, okay?
Oh, so yeah, you have the nice catching technique.
Cut one right there. Go ahead. Yeah,
well, I didn't catch it, but...
No. Okay, just put it right on the screen there.
So I tried again, and again, and again. And Paul made sure to give me some advice.
You're gonna have to pick up the pace a little bit, Kelsey. You're gonna be here all night cutting these things.
I know.
When all of the donuts have raised, the next step is to fry them up. Each one gets flipped so both sides get nice and golden brown. Next, it was time for my favorite part, the glaze.
Just gonna pour that right over?
Yep, but just not all on one donut. Yeah.
I know, not all on one.
You missed a few. Okay, that's it, right down the top. Get this one on the end.
Yep.
Okay, that's good.
From there, the donuts are stacked and the excess glaze drips off. In just a few minutes, they have a nice shiny coat and are looking good. The final product is a delicious warm honey glazed donut ready to serve.
So thanks, Paul. We have the finished product here, and they look amazing. Yep. And we got to take a bite. But before we take a bite, I have to ask, do you think I have what it takes to make it in the donut business?
Absolutely.
Oh, thanks. You're being really nice.
Work on you a little bit, and you'll be knocking donuts out with the best of them. All right, excellent.
Well, thanks, Paul.
You're
Cheers.
welcome. Cheers. How's that?
So good. So good.
Melt in your mouth.
It really does.
And most importantly, I learned that if you want to be in the donut business for decades, you've got to have a great product for the customers.
We want people to, if they buy a dozen donuts today, they might eat them all today, or their family, or their office, But chances are they're going to have some left over, and they're going to eat them tomorrow. They're still going to be a very good eating donut,